Millions of the fuckers. Rye spat as he wiped fresh blood from his hand on his ragged shirt. Wings, legs, and mosquito giblets stuck out of the gore like roots from a hellish bog. I know, but what can you do? They're the least of our worries, grumbled Mitchell while bringing his blade through another curtain of endless foliage. All we can fucking do is keep going and try not to think about whatever flesh-devouring diseases are in these. Abruptly, Mitchell's voice skittered downwards and away, leaving only a slight quiver to the leaves where he once stood. Rye tensed and stepped carefully forward. Mitchell? Oh shit! His feet had discovered a limit to the solid ground and disappeared below the surface of the forest, carrying Rye screaming with them. The forest seemed to sit still, listening as the two of them crashed and tumbled through the undergrowth down whatever cliff they had chosen to explore so unexpectedly. And yet, as quickly as it happened, it ended with a thud of bruising flesh and muffled obscenities. God fucking damn it. Why couldn't we just die then? I'm bloody sick of this, came a strained murmur from Rye. Well now, it seems our luck has turned. Mitchell was pointing at their potential salvation in the form of a carcass of a downed plane. They scrambled inside and as quickly as their scratched and battered bodies would allow them and slumped into the pilot seats. With the tremor to his outstretched hand, Mitchell flicked the switch for the radio and was met with the rasp of static. No fucking way. Mayday! Mayday! Is anyone reading this? Static. And then, hello, this is Ranger 517. How can we help you? Rye smiled. Get us the fuck out of here.
That's so epic.
Welcome to How Can We Help You, a hospitality podcast.
Yeah, that's made very clear by the introduction. Also, I'm really disappointed by the fact that people can't see how you use your hands when you're telling this story, because you throw them out like you're in a rap battle, just like really enunciating each point with a like, boom, yeah. It's great. Welcome to How Can We Help You, a hospitality podcast about downed planes. I'm
serving delicious meals while bushwhacking.
Yep.
There we go.
Whacking in the bushes. That's where you'll find us. I'm sick boy Mitchell Bill. And I mean that not in a street way, just very sick at the moment. And Rye Baby, no cry baby over there. Sitting right opposite me, so close our knees touch. Not a crybaby. Very strong individual.
Very strong-willed.
Yep.
Seen The Notebook several times.
Yeah? How'd you go?
Never shed a tear.
Never shed a tear.
Never felt a thing.
Well, you're inhuman.
Yeah, no,
so.
it's a damn lie. It's the one movie I've cried at.
That's the one?
That's the one movie.
What about Marley and Me? There's a dog in it.
No, never heard of it.
What? Never heard of it? You've never heard of anything. That's ridiculous.
I've heard, let me list them off. I've heard of Finding Nemo.
Are we listing everything you've heard of?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Wade the Spade is here as well. He's back in his cage. This time guarded so he can't get back out. We've hired a guard.
We threw the guitar away.
Our budget is massive. The guard isn't even the most highly paid person on the staff. There's so many people here. We've got our caterer.
There's the lighting guy.
There's the falconer. Keep the pigeons off our shit.
I'm a big fan of the pigeons. They're a lot more character than falcons. Falcons are one note.
Falcons are one note. Pigeons, just they have everything, don't they?
Pigeons can be bruisers, brawlers. They can be scoundrels. They can be lovers.
That's why they strut it so hard. They know
Exactly.
what they got.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. But man, falcons, they're swooping. That's about all they got.
Yeah.
Yep. They come in for the kill.
Yeah.
It's like a Hitman. Imagine doing a movie with Hitman from the game Hitman.
There is a movie of Hitman from the...
Is it bad?
Yeah.
Called it. Because there's no character there.
Yeah,
Because
right.
he's a bald man with he's a stone-hearted killer.
What's the movie equivalent of pigeons?
Friends.
Yeah, Friends was pretty good.
Yeah.
People love it.
Yeah. Pretty close to pigeons.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Hey, this is definitely completely about hospitality. We've been in the hospitality game for many, many years. We have lots of experience, lots of experiences to share, lots of advice to give.
So worth following.
I've worked in so many different places. What the fuck was that?
Sorry. We gotta
He's trying to scare the falcon away.
Well, I want them pigeons coming back.
Yeah.
Get some colour in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can fire the falconer, but you're the one who's going to have to tell him. I'm not. He's got so many falcons to feed. And only one job, weirdly. He shouldn't have invested in so many falcons. They're not needed that often anymore.
To be a falconer, pretty important.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, as a falconer, what are you going door to door? just being like, "Hey, I've got a falcon.
Yeah.
What do you need me to sort out with it?" Like, there's not many opportunities there for him.
I'm sure they're great at catching small rodents. They're real good at that.
Yeah, but they've been falconers are archaic. There's mouse traps and stuff. There's more humane ways that are granted far less exciting.
Yeah, not very exhilarating.
Than employing a local falconer like ours, Raoul. Anyway, he can probably hear us. Let's move on. You've had quite a few jobs. One which I think is quite funny.
Yeah.
You as someone who doesn't eat meat, worked in a slaughterhouse.
They stopped killing them just before I got there. They saw me coming.
So they shut down? You worked in an abandoned slaughterhouse?
They did all the processing.
Oh, right. You went in after the killing was done.
Yeah.
Not like you got there and you're like, this is gross. And they're like, you know what? You're right.
Wave my finger around. They hired a vegetarian. That's why they went wrong. And I came in with my head high.
Yep.
I said, you can do better than this.
Yeah.
Have you tried tofu?
It can be made into all the fake meats.
Yeah, I used to work at a meat processing plant. And it was fantastic, actually. It was terrible. It was the worst job I've ever done.
That's the opposite of what you just said.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's the worst job to go to. I hated waking up every morning to go to it. But in retrospect, it made me appreciate every other job after that.
Yeah,
so
that's
I think
good.
it's a real good job to do when you're young.
Yeah.
For a very short period of time.
Yeah.
Especially because the people you work with. Let me start with that. Let me start with a short.
Let's start with
just
this.
one
Let's
little
go
story.
into this for a very long time.
I'll tell two little stories about it, just
Okay.
because it's a good place to talk about. It's
Yep.
also not hospitality in any way. We went serving the pigs.
It's I mean, it's the beginnings
We were
of
preparing them.
hospitality in a way.
Yeah, not many. I wonder if I
People need to know where their food comes from. Right, let's go.
yeah, you meet a lot of people and you ask them like, "Hey, how long have you been here?" As you do in most jobs. But in this place,
Or in prison.
yeah, it's a lot like that. There's no windows, so
Yeah.
you never know what time of day it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, you find these guys and they're walking around pushing trolleys of dead pigs, and you say, "Hey, how long have you been here?" And they say, 60 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, I might be exaggerating in the point of this story. We're talking more like, but definitely I've talked to a few people there who have been there for like 30 to 40 years. And they kind of laugh when they say it, but it's just such a broken, like, what the fuck have I done?
I'm stuck.
Why am I still here?
Yeah. And you busted them out?
No, I turned tail.
Follow me to the tofu plantation. Take my hand.
The best one of the weirdest things was having a wall of meat cascade down towards me.
Yep,
was
that sounds
particularly good.
brilliant.
Yeah, I was very small.
Yeah,
I must have been 18.
Yeah.
And I was on the conveyor belt. I had a metal rake, and I was at the start of a conveyor belt chain where they dump all the meat, and then it gets. They use needles to inject it with some stuff, and then tenderize it. And
What do they inject it with?
no idea. I didn't ask.
Right.
Maybe it was just tenderizing. But no, it was definitely like lots of small.
There was some
pointy-
sort of liquid in there
I think so. Yeah.
that they were putting in there.
I was
Collagen?
mainly focused on the wall of meat cascading towards me
Yeah,
at the
okay.
time.
You had other stuff going on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So they would bring up giant drums, and we're talking probably about 1.5 meters width, so like square kind of things, maybe about 1 meter deep.
Yep.
So these are big boys, huge things, and they're full to the brim of chunks of meat with the skin on as well. And these chunks are, I'm trying to think of a way to describe it. I don't know, maybe like a foot across or something like that, maybe a foot and a half. Big hunks of meat with skin on them. And I would have control of the button that hoisted this giant tub up, and then I would have to bring these slabs of meat, flip them over so that they're facing the right way, and send them on their way down the conveyor belt. But then I held the button for a little bit too long, and suddenly this entire tub of meat started cascading down towards me, and no one was anywhere near me, and so I was frantically trying to rake meat onto the conveyor belt, and all these giant full-grown men who had all been in prison. They told me that they had been in prison for. One of them said they had been in prison for abusing animals, and he scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, he's
He's
really
in the-
found the right market.
That is calling. And they just start laughing, pissing themselves because this
Yeah.
frail little kid is just like frantically throwing hunks of meat onto a conveyor
Yeah.
belt, trying to avoid being crushed by just a ton of meat. Quite literally.
Did you finish up and just sort of wipe your brow and look at them and be like, bit of a sausage fest, isn't it?
That would have been good.
Yeah.
I would have won their hearts. I would have been ushered into the gang.
End of the movie
Yeah.
or the beginning.
Yeah, it was a weird place.
Yeah,
I highly suggest people work in a factory if you get a chance when you're younger.
Just-
It teaches you a lot about what you shouldn't do with the rest of your life.
Yeah, to see other people who hate being there
Yeah.
that are still there.
The people there, I think that was the weirdest part.
Yeah.
It's just I couldn't relate to them.
Great, we've got some write-ins.
Yes.
We got some questions. Do you want to do the first one, or you want me to?
I haven't got mine loaded up.
first.
You do
All
yours first.
Okay, that's not it. That's a picture of an abandoned building. That's not it. Here we go. Here we go. Give me an alias for this person's name. Don't let me get
Amanda Slightbottom.
Amanda Slightbottom writes in. Can I have a piece of paper to make it sound like this person has written in? There we go. And now I'll read it from my phone. Hi there. Very polite. Listening to your latest episode regarding people stealing stuff, and boy, can I relate. People will steal anything. Toilet paper. The wrapping for toilet paper. Especially when it's Christmas themed. What? Do they then use that toilet paper wrapping to wrap toilet paper as presents?
Great, though. Like, who gives a crap does Christmas themed toilet wrapping?
Yeah, but it says who gives a crap on it, and it says
great for
toilet paper,
great for
and it
children,
says
though.
like good for your bum or something.
Get yourself. Well, kids would love it. Can you imagine you as a small child and you're getting a little plastic dinosaur for Christmas, but it's wrapped in poo paper,
And it says good for your bum, and
You
then
would
you
ha-
unwrap it.
you would never
Suddenly,
stop laughing.
You're at the doctor's because you got a brachiosaurus, buddy, 20 centimeters up your bum.
That would have happened regardless. They're children.
You had a weird upbringing, my boy. Lost my spot. Here we go. The water bowl for dogs. People steal the water bowl for dogs quite often.
That's insane.
It's weird because they're not expensive.
Yeah, and if you can afford a dog,
Yeah, you could probably.
you have to feed that dog.
Yeah.
How much is a bowl?
Also, just
Don't get a bowl. You don't even need a bowl. You just use a plastic container from your fridge.
yeah, from a local takeaway restaurant.
Yeah, there you go.
One of the more recent ones, I had a couple at a table out the front of the cafe. Usual setup there.
Yep.
Pretty normal. They had some coffee, still pretty normal. Some food, keeping it pretty vanilla here. She says all relatively normal. There we go. She agrees. But after they paid, collected their things from the table and walked away, a woman came in just after they left to let us know she saw them walk off with our salt and pepper shakers.
What?
We're not about to try and chase them down the street over this small and mostly inconvenient theft. There is more, but first of all, what? Why? That's insane.
I guess if you've got super cute little salt and pepper shakers, like if they're little moose.
Yeah,
guys.
I would like to know what the salt and pepper shakers were like, but I imagine if they were cool, like I know there's a good restaurant that has an awesome collection of weird salt and pepper shakers that are all themed and all porcelain and cool, and there's like a duck cuddling an apple. That's not one, but there's other things that are weird and unique, and I assume people probably steal those.
Yeah.
But weirdly, if it's just salt and pepper shakers,
There just has to be. There's just certain people out there who either it's a weird thing to get a thrill off, and if you were getting a thrill off, you could probably do something a bit more exciting with that passion with stealing things. Could shoplift a jumper.
yeah,
wear
that's
it-
more exciting.
and then wear it back to the store the next day.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's pretty cool.
Right, pretty ballsy.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I mean, they could do that. Maybe they come back next week with their own with those salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah, they come back and just pull it out of their
Yeah.
pockets and start salting up their chips.
Or maybe they pick two cafes that are adjacent to each other across the road, and they take their salt and pepper shakers and then use them at the other cafe so
Yeah.
that they can see them using their salt and pepper
And
shakers.
take all the salt and pepper shakers from one cafe, move them to the other cafe, and then take all the napkin stands from that cafe and move them back. So everyone just either has napkins or salt and pepper shakers, and you have to decide which cafe you go to based on what thing you think is most necessary in your meal. That's probably what's happening. That's what I'm saying. That's probably what's
the
happening.
most logical explanation.
She goes on. What was her name? Slightbottom? Yep. Slightbottom says, mostly I just have so many questions. Is it just a standard case of kleptomania? Just standard?
What's kleptomania again?
Your obsession with stealing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like it's like compulsive stealing. You
Weird
can't
that
stop
if you were
yourself.
if you were with someone else though, maybe if you both had it. But normally, if you're with someone,
met a Kleptos Anonymous.
But if you're with someone and you start stealing the salt and pepper shakers, I'd be slapping your wrist.
Yeah, you'd deter them.
I think so. Somebody's
Good
like, oh, hey, I'd be like, hey, no,
Stop that.
Yeah,
That's enough.
what are you doing? That's the salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah. Did I do something to tick them off enough to steal out of vengeance? Do they hit every cafe once, collecting salt and pepper shakers as they go, never returning lest they're confronted? Later that day, I was walking home from work and saw them going into what I assume is their house. I think that's a big assumption, because they're kleptomaniacs. They could just be robbing a house. To this day, each time I pass by, I am tempted to leave a scrawled note on the doorstep saying, I know what you did. Brilliant. I think you know what you have to do. Mm. You know where. Slightbottom, you know where they live. You have to break into their house.
I thought that's where I was going.
Yeah. Well, it's the only rational thing to do at this point, is to break into the house and not steal the salt and pepper shakers back, but definitely unscrew the lids in that classic prank, and then steal all the replacement salt and pepper that they might have in reserve, right?
Yeah.
So that when they do the thing and it tips the salt everywhere, they go to fill it up, but the salt and pepper is missing for the shakers. And then on the way out, also
Do a poo somewhere,
probably, and then just burn the house down. And then
cherry on the top.
the fire marshal comes by. You know how they always know how it started?
Yeah.
Like, this was an electrical fault, or someone fell asleep with a cigarette. They'll work it back. And they'll be like, this all started because you stole some salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah.
These are very good detectives. They're actually so good, you might have to do a brief stint in jail. But it'll be worth it to stop people stealing salt and pepper shakers from cafes. And I think that's the only rational conclusion you can come to at this point. Hey, I don't think they hate you. I definitely don't think that's the problem. Never have I had service so bad that I'm like, you know what? This will inconvenience them slightly. A little less salt and pepper, and then pocketed anything. I think it is generally people who don't do anything risky think that is a fun, silly thing to do, is to steal something so unimportant that you're not going to get in trouble for it and feel like a bit of a rush from that. Whereas stealing a jumper and walking into the place that you stole it from, that's ballsy, and that you could get into a little bit of trouble for. Yeah. But stealing salt and pepper shakers, the worst case, they're going to be like, why are you doing that? Stop it. And ask for them back. I've had someone just get a dine-in coffee and then walk away with the coffee. Just like put it down on the table and they put sugar in it, and then they just picked it up and they left. And I was just like, oh, they must just be going like, maybe they have an office upstairs or something. But they never came back. Just gone.
So bizarre. Always just wonder then, are there people out there who they've tested the waters when they were growing up and they just figured out what they could get away with and they just don't care about other people? Because I don't know, I think everyone tries to work out like, oh, there has to be some reason behind this. And I think it's just some people out there who just don't give a shit. Yeah. They're just...
But what do you do with it after? They definitely just ditch it somewhere. No one keeps a stolen salt and pepper shaker. Yeah. They just take it and then
salt and pepper I don't understand. Taking a coffee, I can see if you don't give a shit, then you'd be like, well, I just got a free coffee. I don't care. Yeah. I save a couple of bucks. Yeah. Salt and pepper seems odd. Unless maybe they just moved into a brand new house and just down the road and they're like, you know what? Well, we don't have any salt and pepper shakers.
Let's amass everything from local cafes and shops.
So I just went around. We don't have any cutlery, don't have any crockery, don't have any coffee machines.
Yeah.
Let's go and nick one of those while they're not looking.
Don't have any beds. Quick, to hospital.
Just break one of their legs.
We'll sort this out. We'll grab ourselves a family stethoscope on the way out.
All right, hey.
Hit me with your question,
yeah,
baby.
Man, I got one here right for you.
I'm excited. Tell me all about it.
It's coming up.
Hey,
just loading
wait,
it up.
I get to make up a name.
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
Who wrote in?
Do we want a boy or a girl? Let's make it a boy. Let's keep it even because if there's one, I think girls, they have too much power in this one. A gentleman called Dirk Cassowary, adventurer.
Did we? Was that in the last episode? That callback?
Yeah.
A good callback. I
Thank you.
remember.
Thank you.
Hi guys. You don't know.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Were you waiting for me to respond?
No, I was clearing my throat because I've just been drinking lots of sugary drinks and beer, and I'm all clogged up.
All right.
Hi guys, you don't know me, but boy oh boy do I know you. I live and work in Scotland, but I hope that's not too specific, at a hotel bar. My general manager is still in his first few months of the job and could only be described as failing miserably. He's one of these cringy folk who shamelessly writes TripAdvisor reviews for the hotel, posing as guests traveling as a family, etc. He intentionally spells his name wrong every time, but also gives himself props in every review he does.
So good.
What are your thoughts on the ingenuine trend of people trying to flood their own business page with unrealistic positive reviews?
Oh, I got a lot to say.
I've had it. I've had managers request that I review places before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd definitely ask you to give us a 5-star because, someone's got to. And people are more likely to give a 1-star than they are a 5-star, even.
Yeah.
Especially if they don't enjoy it. No, I mean, people who don't have a good time are more likely to have a 1-star than it's someone who was like, that was fucking brilliant.
I go
and
tell
then
someone.
They
if
don't,
I have
yeah,
a
they
great
don't jump on
experience.
their phones and do it immediately. But also, mainly, our comedic hospitality reach goes as far as Scotland, right? We're global, baby.
I knew
Get
it.
ready.
I had a feeling as soon as
Jet
we hit the
setters.
big record button, as soon as that red light went on outside of our recording studio where we're recording currently,
Yeah.
we have so much money, you wouldn't
Yeah.
believe. As soon as that light went red, I knew we were going big, baby.
Yeah, real big.
We're going to be the first podcast on Mars. Elon Musk is taking us up there.
Yeah, brilliant.
Heard here first.
You didn't tell me. I'm not ready. I don't have.
It was going to be a surprise, but I worked it into this segment.
You can't surprise me with Mars. I don't have the right outfit. It's very particular sort of stuff you have to wear.
They give you an outfit.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? That's pretty good. That's good.
Can't
of
buy
Elon
'em.
Musk. He's really thought of everything. There.
Yep. They got special space hoodies for me.
Oh.
was
That
it?
full like a space Adidas tracksuit.
Yeah.
But the hood is also a helmet with a full mark.
That's actually a great idea for a drawing.
Yeah, all right. Do one.
Yeah, all right.
I'll do one, and then we'll have a draw battle. What are we talking about? What was the question?
Fake reviews.
Oh, yeah, fake reviews.
Got sidetracked.
First of all, I love that he gives himself props. I think that's brilliant. And by brilliant, I mean absolutely moronic. I saw one once where the girl is clearly a waitress at the cafe. And she's like, oh, I love this cafe. The service is amazing. Especially that girl, Carly. She's the best.
Yeah.
Review by Carly. Like, it says her name. And she mentions it. It's brilliant.
I've definitely done those for myself in previous places.
Oh, really?
Reviewed myself. Referring to the blonde guy with the blue eyes.
Yeah, amazing.
Really
With your name above it, so your boss knows that it's you.
Yeah, it would be on Google reviews, so it would have my name and picture right there.
Yeah, it's so good. The blonde guy. It's good. You should have in brackets, it is I. I am
blonde
the
guy.
greatest blonde guy. But, hey, listen, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there, right? Dogs are eating dogs. What does that mean? Anyway, it's cutthroat.
Yeah.
Baby. Like I say, more people are given 1 stars
Yeah.
than there are 5 stars, and it's not because of shit. It's just because angry people are more likely to yell about it, and happy people are more likely to go about their happy day. So I feel like if you can tilt the scales in some way, because you know a lot of people are having positive experiences but don't really use social media that much, I don't think it's too big a problem. But to
It's a prop.
he
to
sounds
give
like a
yourself.
douchebag.
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
but,
There's a certain way to go about it, and I think it's similar to the way like we're both artists on Instagram, and at the start I was really put by anyone trying to push their own art in your comment section and stuff like that, and it still can be really poorly done. And I think it's a similar thing. Maybe it's a little less of maybe it seems like a bigger deal for us in Australia. Like in America, not everyone, but it's more of a common
No,
thing
all
to
of them.
be super in your face about what they're doing. Hey, you should check out my thing. I've got a new podcast coming out. It's going to fucking rock your socks up. It's going to blow your bloody mind.
yeah.
And while over here, we're like, hey, you check out my cafe. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And so anyone trying to hype themselves up or play the game, because it is on all these social platforms, it is a game that you have to try and crawl your way up the ladder.
Yeah. You got to beat that algorithm.
Yeah.
Gotta
and
get
so
famous.
to do anything that looks like you're shoving it down people's throats, everyone's like, ugh, gross. But
Yeah, there's a lot of pushback
You
from
kind of
that.
have to do it.
Yeah.
You just fall behind so quickly.
But
Otherwise-
it's weird because in Australia, we're very much anti that.
Yep.
Like,
Ego.
even when I see you share a thing that says, hey, listen to my podcast. How can we help you? I'm like, oh, what a dick. And then I share it myself. And
You're way more over the top with it as well. You're
Yeah,
more like,
yeah.
the best podcast ever.
people need to know. But then it is part of the game, and I think a lot of people in that sort of American environment, I don't know if it's just America, but
Yeah.
it's they have been conditioned to be like, sell yourself all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, and that's how you get successful.
Yeah.
And it sort of is, which is really annoying.
It's a bit of a hard truth.
Because the more you put up, the more clicks you get, the more people are sent towards your site. Yeah, it's shit. But I think creating fake accounts is a bit too far.
Well, yeah, there has to be a middle ground. It has to just feel genuine still.
Yeah.
Like if you're I don't know. Yeah, if you're going on Instagram as a cafe and you're posting on other people's cafes or posting on people's food blogs and stuff like that, like, hey man, that looks delicious. Come check out my cafe at this address or whatever. You can kind of tell that like that's a fake comment. You're not actually involved in any way.
Yeah.
You can still push it, but while still being engaged with who you're trying to push it to.
Yeah. I like to comment under those ones, just backing them up. Just being like, you should totally go and check out their cafe. That sounds great.
That's very funny.
You do need to reach more people.
Yeah.
You should join their social media site.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, that's
The
fine.
phone's still on, apparently. Hey, what else?
Well, hey, look, we've got an article that got posted up. I can't remember when, maybe a little while ago. And it's kind of like a bit of a pet peeves article all about the cafe industry in Melbourne.
Oh.
And we're going to read it, and we're going to disagree, and we're going to agree on some other things about it.
All right,
It should be a good time.
let's go.
The article is called Dear Cafes, You Can Do Better. Should we mention the person who wrote this? Cool. No. Checking with the producer.
Okay, apparently not. Or it's from a newspaper, The Age.
Yeah.
Look it up. It's called Dear Cafes You Can Do Better. It's on The Age.
Yeah.
You got it.
Cool. Hey, the first one, this is, again, just pet peeves, little things that she's going to some cafes and things that annoy the hell out of her. Wobbly tables, first thing off the list. Can't stand them, and I have to agree with her on this one. This one drives me mental. Can't believe how many places you go to that have wobbly tables. And it's just like a common little thing that in so many smaller businesses, often like mum and pop kind of places as well, you'll just find all these little things that just would take a second to fix and then drives me crazy.
How often do you check the tables out the front of our cafe when you open?
Well, that was going to be my point though,
Yeah.
that I definitely get complacent. I definitely forget.
You definitely do.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the right forum for me to be bringing it up, but you should really check the tables when you put them out in the morning.
I don't put out the tables in the morning.
Right, but
Yeah.
you can still check them.
Yeah,
Come on,
100%.
help us out.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does when you're on the day to day. It's the same thing every single day. It is hard to. It's not that hard, but you do forget all these little tiny things
Yeah,
that are super easy fixes.
yeah. Just piff a little bit of cardboard under there if the world is. Listen, the world is not flat. That's been proven time and time again.
Yep.
Apparently
Apparently, it's up for debate. I don't know why.
It's really even flat earthers have proven several times. There's a documentary on Netflix. My friend was saying that he watched it, and the flat Earth scientists kept accidentally proving the world was round and having to go back to it and just like, no, that's not exactly what we meant to do, and just trying again. But so tables are going to be wobbly because there's no like set sort of place where they're going to be. The legs don't always twist the right way.
Yeah.
I know the legs on our tables, they wear down over time. Tables are going to be wobbly. You got to be checking them every day. Every day.
She suggests getting little bits of cork and cutting them up to put underneath. I think that sounds like too much effort. We've all got napkins and coasters.
Yeah, she's under the impression that the tables stay in the same place every time. But they don't. Because when you bring them in, you're not saying like, oh, this table is top right corner E6. Next one.
Yeah.
Please wait to be seated so that we can completely ignore you and leave you standing in the doorway like a tit.
This one frustrates the hell out of me when it happens, for sure, and it does look real bad service. But I imagine this kind of thing, because so many cafes wouldn't do this all the time on like on a quiet day. So if you're going on a weekend, that has to be in place in a busy cafe. You can't have people just jumping in,
exactly,
going sitting anywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, it's very important. Very important. Fuck, I had a thing.
Do you think? Go on.
No.
Hey,
Look.
what's your thing?
First of all, she suggests having a greeter, which is ideal, but it's such an enormous amount of money to pay for someone to just do that one thing. I have worked in a place that has it, that has a person who's seating every single person that comes through.
Yeah.
And it can work real well in those certain days.
Well, if it's a big place that you actually need to be managing tables like that, where you need to wait to be seated, where the person behind the bar or the 1 or 2 floor people don't have oversight over the entire thing, you need a greeter because they're actually more of a floor manager than just a greeter. So they're actually doing a lot more than just standing there and directing you to a table.
I guess this whole article kind of plays into one bigger topic for me that I wanted to kind of talk about, is that because she kind of mentions that she gets ignored by several staff members while they're walking around, and I think the biggest thing is kind of like the amount of money going into a cafe, which we discussed a couple episodes ago, isn't a huge amount, and so staff aren't getting paid extravagant amounts, so it's kind of a low entry level job. And so you do get a lot of 18-year-olds, especially on weekends and stuff like that. You'll have a lot of 18-year-olds or young 20-year-olds walking around serving food and stuff like that. And it can be a lot to expect of these young kids to have their eyes up while also thinking about a crazy cafe that they're working in and trying to do all these lots of different things at the same time.
I don't think it's a lot to expect them to do that. I think it's a lot to think that they give a shit about you.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah.
That's the problem, is you're not going to be served by the manager every single time or by someone who's there for a career. Most of the time, the people are just there because they need a job for the weekend so they can fucking get some gigs and party, Like they don't. Their parents force them to get a job. Whatever it is, they often don't care, which is a real shame, and I agree with her completely. The sign I'm down with. Please wait to be seated. I'm down with the sign.
Yeah.
As long as it's being utilized, that it's not just like, please wait here forever.
Yeah.
She says at the end, I stood at the door like the sign said, and then some other group of non-law abiding diners swept past me and took the last table. If your sign says that, then you've got to go and tell them to leave.
Well,
because, they didn't do the thing and this person did, and
I've seen that
horrible.
before. I've seen that before, and I've been in places that do that. Like, if you've got these set rules, you kind of do need to run with them. You need to enforce them. Otherwise, it's going to all fall apart very, very quickly.
Next one.
Yeah. A pepper grinder on every table. She can't stand not having it. Apparently, so she complains about giant pepper grinders, usually only one, wielded by the waiter only or the chef, peppering to their preset specifications.
Sure.
And she wants to be able to add her own pepper. And my question is, where are you going that doesn't
Where
have
the fuck are
that doesn't
you
have this
going?
pepper?
This is a local paper. You're in Melbourne. What do you only go to Italian restaurants?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it's only at a restaurant thing,
Yeah.
right?
Although I do love those big pepper grinders.
Yeah, they're great. They're cool.
like clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so good.
And to have a way to do it for you, it's very fancy. It's very
Yeah.
cool. But it's not happening at any cafe.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
But they always say when. And everyone makes the joke, when. And I have worked at a place with a massive pepper grinder. And when they say when, I keep going until they tell me to stop.
That's funny.
Yeah, especially you change it up to say when to stop.
Yeah.
That makes sense. When is it's a play on words. Saying when at that point would mean to stop. Listen, I'm not talking about this anymore. Next one. Also, most of the pepper, maybe she's just going to that place where the salt and pepper keeps getting stolen.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe she's in the same area.
True. However, I do.
What did you say? Halibut?
However,
Oh.
I do prefer to. I do like the idea of going to a place and you let them kind of take you on a journey.
Yeah.
So you go there and say, I don't know your menu, don't know your coffee.
Bit of theatre.
Let me see what you're going to do with it. You know,
Yep.
you guys know the food.
Yep.
So you add the amount of pepper that you think is appropriate.
I do like that there's some menus that are just like, especially if the place is a little bit different, that it just says, don't know what to order? Well, let us decide for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. That'd be good if I
Yeah.
didn't have so many dietary requirements. Next one. Rye, I want to read it.
Yeah, we're taking it in turns.
Order at the counter and take a number on a stick.
Again, with this one, I just don't know where she's going.
Yeah.
Unless she's going to like a Starbucks or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe these are smaller outer suburb
Burger
cafes.
bars, maybe?
Yeah, well, for
But
sure.
this is
You're at a bar.
specifically about
About
cafes. Yeah, so definitely not. I've never really had that happen.
No.
And also working in cafes, I hate it when people ruin my takeaway queue by like standing there queuing up and then being like, yeah, just wanting to order to dine in. I was like, well, you're making the queue look like it's 15 people deep and I'm paying a person to be on the floor to give you a full experience, and now you kind of ruined it, and now I have to give you this tacky bloody number and ask you to take a seat. And then when I explain, like, oh, you know, it's all table service. You can just take a seat, and then our friend over here is going to just help you out completely. And they're just like, oh, yeah, no, I just wanted to pay now. And I'm like, you can pay at you can literally, there is no benefit to what you're doing other than making the people who are getting takeaway wait for ages because you're ordering full meals and everything.
I think there's a huge portion of the population though that wants the old fashioned what they were used to.
Yeah.
Like
Wars.
they would let some.
Wars fought on the ground. Mud, trenches.
I guess I don't know.
Babies crying for the parents. Tough time.
The fancier side
At
of
least we could order our own things at the counter.
and they had syrups.
They had syrups, yeah. Fucking syrups. Did she talk about syrup? She better.
I don't think so. But yeah, people wanted they like the good old days before the kind of Melbourne coffee got really trendy. I don't know if they're not scared by it or intimidated by it. It just sounds like people who are just like, I don't need none of that fancy shit. I'm a country boy. I need me a big coffee. I want to order and pay at the counter.
Yep.
And I want someone to shout my name out when it's ready. I'm
like
going to get it in a takeaway cup.
Yeah. They used to go into the pub in their town sort of
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and get
Or the
their
milk
little
bar that's got a coffee machine. Or something like that.
Yeah. I also like that she says if you're a cafe and charging cafe prices, it behoves you to provide table service. Yeah. And she has behoves in italics to just prove that she also thinks it's a good word. Behoves. Have you got the next one?
Jam in packets and a miserly attitude to the butter.
Miserly means to be stingy.
Yep.
Get rid of butter altogether. Fuck it off.
Yeah, I
Butter's
just
garbage.
can't stand butter.
People, we got to
So
get over it.
It's so overpowering to
It's-
over bread.
it's
It
so
ruins
grubby.
bread.
She's wrong.
Wayde the spade disagrees.
I don't know. Wade's having a little aneurysm in his cage. Don't worry. I'll bloody get the
I just
garden.
can't stand it. I don't know if it's because I don't eat much dairy, but if there's any, hey, Wade, chill out in there. All right, you've got your niblets and your water.
Should be
Calm
happy.
down. Milky coffees. Can't only taste the milk, and buttery bread. I can only taste the butter. I can't get any of that sweet bread.
But butter is such a dominant flavor. It's overtaking the nice balance of flavors that's already there.
We're
If
going to
you-
have so many people disagreeing with this segment, by the way.
almost everybody disagrees. And again, you're wrong. This is, I think it's fairly standard now if you order eggs on toast. The toast doesn't come pre-buttered.
No, yeah,
Because
which I'm
people
really happy
are
with.
they're done with it.
Yeah.
They don't want that butter on there. If you're getting jam on toast, yeah, you're going to get a little butter on the side. But they're not going to pre-butter it because a lot of people are coming to the conclusion that butter is a fucking waste of space. Like Wayde.
But also the jam in packets. And I assume she also means small little sachet of butter, not a sachet. They come in those little folded things. Which
She's going to the weirdest fucking places, man.
This sounds like a small country cafe
Yeah.
that just gives no fucks.
Yeah.
But then to be having a go at Melbourne cafe culture based on this experience, it
Yeah,
sounds
that's not
absurd.
very Melbourne Cafe at all.
No, there is a much higher standard. If you went to a Melbourne cafe and you first had to take a number, and then you got charged a whole bunch of money for it, and you saw no wait staff, and you waited to be seated, but then no one talked to you, and you got a little jam in a packet.
I know
One star.
what's happened.
Yeah.
She's thought cafe is short for school cafeteria. And she's moseyed into some schools. She's placed some weird orders and then been livid. made a furore. Hey, here's another one. GIY, which she makes into an acronym and then in brackets explains the acronym she's made up.
Starting
Get
trend.
it yourself. Wasting the point of the acronym. Get it yourself. Lukewarm water offered from some fusty communal water tank.
This is just like Melbourne. Melbourne is kind of unique. There's a lot of places around the world that don't give you water
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a privilege to have it in Melbourne. I think it's absurd that anywhere wouldn't do it. I get that.
Yeah.
But to act like this is impossible. How can I not be given water at the table? It's like, well, if you go anywhere else, you go to America or you go to Germany and stuff like that, they don't give you water just at your table. I'm pretty sure you just have to pay for it. From what I've heard. Haven't been to
that's
Germany.
right.
You probably have.
I have. 3 times. Dry.
Oh. I don't understand. I don't.
Dry mile. It was, I actually, now that you mention it, it was alarming every time. Every time I was shocked when they're just like, water, sparkling, still. I'd be like, still, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not fancy. And then I had to pay for it. I was like, well, I fucking should have got the sparkly boys.
Yeah.
Bloody paying for still water.
It's insane.
It is crazy.
What are you making on that? What kind of percentages would that actually add up to be?
Well, I think it's because the difference is a lot of places don't have drinkable tap water.
Yeah, right, true.
Whereas we do.
Yeah.
But New York does. It's supposed to be some of the best water in the bloody world. Their
Really?
tap water.
That's unexpected.
Why?
Because the rest of the city is so just trash infested gross. From what I've heard. Haven't been. You have been watching.
You've watched all the like grungiest sort of Netflix series that are about the hard streets of New York.
Yeah,
And you're like, ew. I would never drink water in that place.
What's the one with
There's too much gang violence. Yeah, goose. It's lovely. There's a lot of good things in New York.
Yeah, imagine. Hot dogs. That sounds pretty good.
Hot dogs are weird there because the bread isn't very dense.
Oh, okay, really?
So it's real like you know when you see a hot dog eating competition in a movie? I don't know.
Yeah, like an 80s action
Yeah.
movie. No, an action movie. Like a teen grown up movie.
Teen grown-up movie. Nailing it. And they're like, oh, how many other... And you're fucking cramming in 25 hot dogs.
Yeah.
And you're like, that is impossible.
Yeah.
Because we have a hot dog, you know, you yum, pig's bum, you're all full up.
Yeah.
Go over there. They're street hot dogs.
Yeah.
I had one and I was like, that's empty. The bread is air. It just like you could ball it up to the size of, like a
A ball.
Krispy
small
Kreme
ball.
donut sort of thing. Smaller even.
Yep.
And just one mouth. Bang. One mouthful. One mouthful, two mouths. Meeting in the middle. Making sweet hot dog love.
Interesting. Well, it doesn't sound that appealing then. Look at the jazz though. I'll go for the New York jazz scene.
Hey,
Very cultured.
read the next one.
Yeah. Flowers as garnishes. As garnish. If you can't eat it, don't put it on my food. You'll very, very rarely get anything on your food that you can't eat.
You
All those
can
flowers
eat
are
it.
totally
They're
edible.
edible flowers.
Yeah, they're not like highly tasty. But they're very pretty. They're flowers. And also, any fucking arguments about this shit. It's like, if you have ever taken a photo of your food at a cafe, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the whole point is because we're trying to get you to take a photo and post it to your friends.
Yeah,
that's how
get that reach, baby.
That's the
Play
same
the
thing as
game.
leaving a review on the bloody on your own Instagram or your own thing.
You're just playing the game.
Playing the game.
And also, I mean, the pansies generally, they don't really have a strong flavor, but they have a strong visual appeal.
Mm-hmm.
And so just bloody chomp them on down, baby.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
This one does tie into another one further down though. That I have a polar opposite opinion. Let's do it. Keep going. What's the next one?
Oh, keep going? All right, yeah, sure. Muggachinos. The Mugachino, a crime against sophisticated cafe society, and belongs back in the 90s with focaccia bread, Vienna coffees, and the vase-shaped latte glass. What's a vase-shaped latte glass?
I don't understand.
I don't know what that is, but the other stuff I agree with. Fuck a Mugachino.
It's a stupid thing.
It's the balance is off.
Yeah.
When you use a mug, it's the reason it comes in a certain size is because there's a very careful balance that goes into making a nice milky coffee, and the temperature is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
And mugs, first of all, there's no right mug shape that mixes the espresso well enough when you're pouring in the same way that the cups and the latte glasses do. But also, generally, you're getting a large coffee because you plan to settle in for a while, and then it goes cold halfway through. And I realize that's just something that you like to do. But a lot of places are like, not you personally, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of places don't want to compromise the taste of their coffee and have you going like, this actually tastes sort of shit.
Yeah.
And the last mouthful being the worst mouthful.
Yeah.
And it also costs them a lot more. So you're getting double the size coffee for $1 more usually. But the same amount of effort has gone into it. So it should be double the price.
It's
really.
just all these little things are just playing that balance game between like what the customers think they want, but then also you have to play to the Instagram game or play to the reviews, and word of mouth. And so yeah, if you have that big old coffee, it's gonna taste like shit. It's also too much milk. Everyone should stop drinking milk entirely, and stop eating butter.
Yeah.
And become vegan. Why not? Yeah. Hey, what we're going to talk about now is we're going to skip down a little bit.
Yep, go.
Because it turns out we're just yapping on because we have such a good time together.
Yeah. But skip it.
Yeah.
So,
Jenga-inspired food towers.
yeah.
Often, what do you get? Polenta chips. They're always stacked up like Jenga.
I like it.
That's actually it just looks like Jenga, but that's not
Yeah,
what they're talking about.
it's good.
They talk about, however, toast stacked on top of each other. You get yourself a big old breakfast, usually an avocado-based one with some cherry toms. You get some spinach, and you get some mushies, and maybe a hash brownie boy on the side.
Yep.
Can you imagine? It's
Ah,
gonna be pretty good.
baby.
Guess what's on top?
What's on top?
Little edible flowers.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very
Give
pretty.
them to me.
But guess what's underneath all that?
I'd like an oil-based drizzle over it, please.
Oh, maybe a
with some
vinaigrette
chili.
even.
Yeah. Get them.
We just ate, but I'm hungry again. But they put it on top of two pieces of toast stacked on top of each other.
Sure, so you need to deconstruct the visual thing.
Fucking can't stand it.
You can't stand
Can't
it?
stand it. Hurts me. Hurts
Shouldn't-
me deep inside.
Hey.
It blows my mind because then I have to take it apart and move it around.
It's the visual game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
If they served it. Well, moving on then.
Great.
It's
Hey-
the visual game. If you have the two pieces of toast side by side, it's just a bit like it is more difficult to make it look like an appealing thing because people love towers. We know that. We live in them. We bloody well eat them. We have games based on them. Jenga.
Hey, we're going to do one more.
One more. Which one?
No, baby, you choose.
I agree with this one so hard.
Let me hear it.
Hamburgers and sandwiches that require a dislocated python
Oh,
jaw
I'm so in
to
agreement
eat.
with you.
I'm a massive fan of burgers.
Yeah. My
Right.
favorite food.
That's
Easy.
your favorite food?
Easy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, couldn't even spot something close
Right.
to it.
If I can only eat a sandwich without the whole thing turning into a visual car crash, that sandwich shouldn't be served. I agree.
Yes.
I'm so sick of seeing a hamburger that everyone's just like, best fucking hamburger in town. And it's got like 4 meat patties and then like a full roast chicken and then like 3 limousines like end to end as well. They're not even stacked sort of lengthways. They're on top. And then they're just like, there you go. Here's a knife and fork for your burger because that makes sense. And then you've got to chip away at it like a skilled mason working away there. And then the flavors aren't coming all at once.
No. You
They're
get
coming in segments.
Yeah. Whenever
Barely
if
taste
anyone
the
does
limousine.
if anyone does a chicken burger, you know that that's a whole breast, and you know it's bigger than a bun, way
Yeah.
bigger than a bun.
Yeah.
So you have to munch on the little side bits, and that's
Oh,
kind
yeah,
of
you
fun.
munch the sides, the crispy sides on a
Yeah.
chicken burger, you're munching them down, that's fine.
Yeah, well they're good.
That's not the problem. A little munch
Still
around's okay.
frustrates the hell out of me.
It's more the height.
Yeah,
when it gets too
if your
high-
burger needs a skewer,
Yeah.
get out of town. That bad burger.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
If
it should be able to be held within paper and within 2 hands. And
Yep.
you can munch it down, and I want to see no droppage. I don't want to see anything on my plate except maybe some juices
Yeah, yeah.
from me and the burger.
What are your juices?
It was a sloppy boy. You
Yeah.
get slobbery.
You just lactate as you eat.
This gets me really excited, man. I can't stress enough how much I like a
Just
good
gives
burger.
you the milky nips.
Yeah. Hey,
Wade's holding up a piece of paper that I can't see anything written on.
you know what time it is, baby? It's time for some feedback. Feedback. Everybody's favorite segment. Oh my god, can't explain how excited I am.
Give it a crack though.
Pretty excited.
Lactating. That's how excited.
All over my plate.
Hey, you've said stuff to places, and we're gonna say stuff back at you. Theme song.
Doing all the feedback stuff with Mitchell and Rye. We'll call it feedback. It's time for feedback.
Thanks to the Reefer Queefers for that intro. Welcome to Feedback. It's the best part.
Everyone keeps telling us.
Hey, give me a cafe name.
Bones.
I always think you're going to say more stuff. You just say
I like short
one
ones.
word. Yeah. Hey.
I'll get more creative as we.
No, you don't need to. Bones is good. This is for a cafe called Bones.
It's a good cafe name.
1 star.
Oh no.
Never been there. That's how it opens. Never been there. Always lots of customers, so it must be good.
Wait, is this it?
No, it's a little bit more, but it's all... Parking is the big obstacle. Big with a capital B. Be prepared for a long walk and good luck finding a car park, and then a little emoticon of a car. Great for the healthy-minded. I have to say that is always the issue when places are being built is the parking. When will they think before they build? Also...
What? What?
Hey, listen.
What are you talking about?
I don't write these, right?
Yeah.
I'm just reading them out, grammarless, as they are written. Parking is a big obstacle.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add a few words.
Don't
So
drive.
be prepared for a long walk and good luck, spelt with a U, finding a car park. Probably a full stop.
Yeah.
Great for the healthy-minded.
Yep.
Maybe. She
out.
means like, hey,
Get your walks in.
maybe if that's what you're into. If you're into walking, I've actually been there. I walked half a street.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
you-
half a block.
your butt must have been so tight up.
Oh,
that.
baby, you can picture it.
Say you get them. Say you get them.
The tighter it gets,
Let's get
the more oils I rub on it as I walk as well. Because Because I never wear pants, much like yourself.
Yeah.
We've got a real Winnie the Pooh vibe going on. I have to say, that is always the issue. When a place or places are being built, it's the parking. When will they think before they build?
What?
No cafe owner has gone, I'm going to build a cafe.
No.
Especially in Melbourne. All the cafes are in like something that used to be something interesting.
Yeah.
Like, here's an old shelter that was used in a hurricane and 4 people died here. How do you want your eggs?
Or Greg died, and they were like, well, let's turn his house into a bloody cafe.
Yeah.
Load it up.
Also, she can't really determine how long the walk will be because she's never been there.
No.
Never been there. Always lots of customers.
Where are they parking?
Yeah.
They all live there.
It's
Greg's
not
house.
a dense area where it is either. It's like it's on a fairly main street which has parking along it, and then there are
Any public
heaps of
transport?
side streets, side Merrill streets. And they're just doing terrific jobs. Always are. Oscar-worthy streeps. But you can park down any one of those streeps. You want another one?
Yeah.
These are short this time. But, hey, this is my favorite one.
Yeah.
I thought I'd mix it up a bit. I thought, hey, it doesn't always have to be bad review. It doesn't have to
No.
be 1 star, 2 stars.
I want to hear what makes a place tick. What makes a place
I thought,
pop.
why not find a place that is famously shit?
Yeah.
And find the positives. Think up a fake name for a fast food place.
Get him. Get him.
Get 'em, get 'em?
Get him. Get him.
Wrong. It's McDonald's. This one is for McDonald's.
It's pretty specific.
This guy says 4 stars. Malcolm Turnbull once threw up here after a few pots from the hotel across the road. Otherwise, a very fine establishment. I don't eat much anymore. But when I drive past, I often pop in to reminisce. 4 stars. He gave it 4 stars and then also said at the end, 4 stars.
I love the idea of this guy just walking in, hand on his hips, looking around like, "Ah."
Completely emaciated from never eating. I love him. I looked at some of his other reviews as well, and there's things like he went to the Ian Potter Centre, and he's just reviewed it and said, "Thanks, Ian."
I love this is the best side of the internet, where it's just really wholesome material like this, where they're not creating anything in particular they're not gonna make a living, they're not gonna get lots of fans for their review count.
I mean, I'm not gonna give his name out, but I mean, maybe some diligent researchers want to get into it.
Look for
and
any
then send us
4-star
your
reviews.
resume because I'm fucking sick of Wayde. Hey, I think we've helped quite a good deal of people today.
I believe so.
Yeah, most of them. Most of the problems are solved.
They came in here snot-nosed young'uns looking lost and dumbfounded.
Yep.
And we sorted them out, pat on the bum, send them out into the world.
Yeah.
Say good luck, boys
Like good
and gals.
coaches.
Yeah.
All good coaches give you a little pat on the bum. Isn't that right? I've seen it in the films. I never play sport,
No.
but I've seen it. They're just like, get out there, boys, and they grab their tushies.
They didn't grab my tushy. I played a little bit of sport as a youngster. They just kind of looked at me.
I would say,
in sad
considering
eyes.
your physique, they tried to, and they just took a swipe and missed.
As they found the tushy, they'd cut themselves.
yeah. They ever
Sharp cheeks, they call me.
they ever make contact with my tushy and just bounce off? It's firm tushy.
We both have very defined tushies in our own way. I could cut cheese, not that I eat it. You could bloody break down a door.
Throw it in the bin.
Yeah. If we ever need to break down a door and get to some Gouda.
I was at a party once where a guy was bragging that he could definitely pick up a chair with his butt. And we tried to get him to do it, and he couldn't do it, obviously, because that's insane. But then he's like, no, but I reckon I could pick up a person. He got someone to lie on the ground, and he's just like, lie on the ground, I'm going to pick you up with my butt. And he like squatted over them and just tensed his butt real hard on them. He couldn't pick them up with his
Well,
butt.
it's clearly just a ploy. He just likes putting his butt in things.
Yeah. Well,
If you say you can
we
pick-
all liked it, I think.
I mean, if you got under the chair, you could lift it with your butt as a surface.
Yeah, that's true. Oh,
Like a
could
hoist.
have been a trick. Yeah,
That'd been funny.
yeah.
But he
It was
did
funnier
it
to
wrong.
fail at picking up a chair with your butt, I think,
true.
rather than to fool us all.
Hey, look, what a podcast.
Oh, it's probably one of the best.
I'd say so. It goes, what's that one? Mark Maron and then us.
Yeah.
And he's
Mark
only
Maron.
ahead because he got Barack Obama.
Because he got a bummer.
But we're getting him. He's coming.
I forgot to message him. I'm going to message him on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a Twitter. And I've not used it for anything, but I'll use it to talk.
One tweet.
Might seem less legit, but I'm going to just tweet at him and be like, hey, listen, I don't know what you're up to. What, 2 weeks from now?
We know what he's not doing.
Yeah. Yeah, much.
But yeah.
So it should be fine. So come on down or send one of your daughters. I don't know, that seems...
Yeah,
I'll
that
figure
sounds
out a better
creepy.
way to word it.
Yeah, so it's not as...
Yeah. Because the Secret Service still protects him. That's the
Yeah.
thing. And that's a risky sentence. Hey, this has been How Can We Help You? And I guess we'll see you next time.
Bloody love ya.
I love you.
Great. Good
See ya.
times.